You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello, and welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. I am your executive producer and host for our program. Our show is all about hearing from experts who teach us lessons on how to be better, coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. Our show is live streaming on Business Talk Radio and social media. As your host, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, I am a certified life, career, yoga, and meditation coach. So I am thrilled to bring our presenters today. We have 4 people with us, starting with Trish and Red and Ian and Dana. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Great to be here.
It's a pleasure to have everyone. Well, thank you. Thank you. So what I'd like to do is have each of you share with us who you are, what you do, and the value that you'll bring to us today. And let's start with you, Trish.
Wow. Okay. As Dr. Jacalyn said, my name is Trish Robichaud. I am a work-life inclusion coach. That's right. I help you make your life and your work inclusive of each other. I also am an accessibility compliance expert and a motivational speaker. I get to work with entrepreneurs with disabilities, helping them to build a stream of income that will keep them afloat when their health is rocking the boat. I also work with businesses, small business owners, and helping them to boost their profitability by up to 30% by building disability inclusion into their business model. And today I'm here to talk about some 3 key strategies, three key solutions for building that income to sustain you while your health is giving you a hard time. Okay, glad to be here. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thanks, Trish. You always have such relevant information that you share with us. So I'm excited for another presentation. Thank you for being here. And with us today also is Red O Laughlin, who is my book coach, helping me bring Behind the Green Screen out to the masses. Red, please tell us who you are, what you do, and the value that you'll be bringing today.
I'm an author, a speaker, and a publisher. I research what goes on in the human body at the cellular level, biochemically speaking. I look for cause and effect relationships. Treat a cause, you fix a problem. Treat a symptom, you'll always be treating the symptom. Today, I plan on talking about avoiding the widowmaker. And the value that I'll be bringing is, how do you avoid it? It's one of those things that most of us don't even know about. So that's my topic today, and that's what I plan on doing. Thank you again, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you, Red. Appreciate it. And let's go over to Ian and Dana. Welcome to the program. Tell us who you are, what you do, and the value you'll be bringing today.
Okay, so my name is Ian. I am one of the founders of the dynamic duo that makes up Listening to Smile. And I am a sound alchemist, which means that I use sound as a tool to engage with people and to help people find relief from everything from anxiety to pain management and just overall relaxation in the world, as everything's so hustle bustle, and it just helps carve out some time, making a music that is a tool for helping to carve out time for self-care.
Thank you so much, Ian and Dana. It's a pleasure. So you're joining us from Pittsburgh, and Trish is joining us from Canada, and Red is joining from Texas. It's a pleasure. So let's just talk about how the layout of the show goes. First, Trish will present for 15 minutes. We will put up the timer so that she can see where she is, and then we'll go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about the presentation and give her some feedback. And then Red will go and we'll follow the same format, commercial, feedback, and then Ian and Dane will go. How does that sound?
Great.
Perfect. Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be muting all of us while Trish is presenting. So Trish, I'm going to put you in the spotlight. And I'm going to put up the 15-minute timer. And you need to share your screen, right?
Yes, I've already shared my screen.
Okay, I'm adding it.
There you go.
All right, Trish, take it away.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for tuning in today. I appreciate you being here. I'm thrilled to be saying that I'm actually stepping outside my comfort zone today and doing my first presentation for A Better You ad lib without script. So if I stumble here and there, please forgive me. Okay. I will likely just make fun of myself. Okay. My presentation today is called The Wave Effect. All right. And ultimately, what I want to teach you today are the 3 basic elements necessary to build an income stream that keeps you afloat while your health is rocking the boat. Needless to say, my target market tends to be people with health challenges. All righty. And we're going to go to, my goodness, you are right, girlfriend. It didn't work. It's not working. There we go. And there's me. I'm a coach. I'm a trainer, a consultant. I'm a person with extensive experience with disability. I am a dedicated, resilient optimist. Actually, I call myself a chronic silver lining seeker. And I support entrepreneurs with disabilities as well as advocate for disability inclusion for organizations in our communities. Okay, my business is called Changing Paces. Pleasure to meet you. Oh, what is that? That is an income stream that is running downhill. Don't you think? That's what it looks like to me. Unfortunately, when you are an entrepreneur living with a disability, this can be one of your regular daily occurrences. Unfortunately, your health can limit your functioning, as well as your your motivation for work. And the bottom line is, it doesn't have to be like that. And I'm here. I've lived through all of it. I'll just tell you a little bit of story here before we go any further to show you the roller coaster that my business has experienced over the years because of my health. There was a number of years back, I'm going to say, wow, it was in 1994. My work was interrupted by my health because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So my income went downstream there. But I was an entrepreneur at heart. But I wasn't sick. I was too sick to be working and running a business at that point. So I just did a lot of volunteer work, picked up a lot of skills, picked up a lot of contacts over a quite number of years. And then eventually I got well enough from having made some significant lifestyle choices that benefited the MS, that all of a sudden I decided I had to be self-employed. So my income stream went from straight downhill to finally it leveled out. Okay. But what impacted me along the way? And in terms of my business, since I started my self-employment in 2003, what happened along the way is that I found ways of coping with the critical pieces that are the, I call them the 3 major pain points. Okay, for people who are entrepreneurs living with a chronic health condition or a disability. And that health condition could be something as simple as arthritis, which isn't simple, okay? Or it could be diabetes, or it could be you've had breast cancer and you're self-employed and you're concerned about how to manage self-employment with really needing to focus on health from here on in your life. There's a lot of factors involved with being self-employed when you have a chronic health condition, and we want to be stable. We want to be stable. We want our health to be stable, and we want our income to be stable. So the first thing I found necessary to do is I had to look at what were the major pain points. The first major pain point that I found for me was my limited energy. And because I had limited energy, I had to learn how to chunk my work up into times when my energy was high, and to take the rest that I needed to take when my energy was low. That's really important. Listening to our bodies is just vital, okay? And the second piece around limited energy is also about how we treat our bodies, because that significantly contributes to how well our bodies function. Just like if I put dirty gasoline in a car that requires super test or some high-end gasoline, the functioning is not going to be great, right? Worse yet, if I pour water or alcohol in there, it's not going to function at all, right? So we have to be feeding ourselves properly, feeding ourselves in a healthy way with healthy whole foods, staying away from processed foods, staying away from additives and when they modify their genes and all the GMO, whatever. You know exactly what I mean. So we have to, all of these things contribute. Okay. So in terms of pain points, let's next talk about business overwhelm. That is huge. When you're self-employed, it can be a huge function of your business to be caught up in sales, caught up in strategy, caught up in marketing, and there can be a lot going on there. But I've got some hope for you. The third pain point is fear and self-doubt, and all of us experience these pieces. All of us, the fear of the unknown is the biggest fear to mankind. I firmly believe that, okay? And so when we have fear of the unknown, even though we might normally be confident in ourselves, when fear kicks in, our self-doubt can take a stronger footing than it would normally be able to play when fear isn't an issue. All right. So I've worked on developing some key strategies to address each one of these pain points. The first one on the list, with regards to addressing limited energy, we focus on well-being. Okay. It's important to focus on well-being, but not just in terms of your physical health. Okay. Self-care is a key component, of course, to well-being. Everybody knows that. I don't even need to cover that because you know that, okay? The other piece that I want you to think about is your environment. Your environment significantly affects your well-being, okay? And that environment might be your desk chair and how effective it is at keeping you sitting properly during the day. Frankly, don't ever cut short your budget on a good office chair. If you're sedentary and you work seated, spend the money. I'm telling you, mine was $600 and I got it on sale for $1,000. Okay, it is the best on the market. I call it it's called the Core Chair. Reach out to me if you're interested. Anyway, vitally important. But your environment also covers, how your family regards you and your business and your work at home. Do you have the workspace, the space, the time you need to manage your business? Does your family understand about those boundaries? That's part of your environment. Your environment also includes your lighting, but it also includes everything from your computer to your desk, whether it lifts up and down so that you can work standing at times. Okay, and then finally we have mindset. Mindset's really important in any regard in your life, but in terms of your well-being, it's vitally important. We have to be clear that we have to believe that we can do this in order to do it. Okay, the second key piece that I've come up with to support business overwhelm is automation. Automation, technology automation is the first thing you're going to think of. And of course, that is a huge piece. And I get to tell you how much fun I have when I take a process that a client might have taken, I don't know, 30 minutes to do yesterday, and we set up a few processes online. We set up a few platforms like Zapier and all these little tools that can talk to each other online, and we can actually automate processes so that now that half an hour that he spent yesterday is just like 3 clicks of the button, and it gets done automatically. The other piece of automation is delegation. Most of us do have a hard time with delegation, especially if we're in the caring field. If we're coaches and consultants and advisors, we're used to helping other people. That's what we like to do. So because we tend to be carers and we give of ourselves, our first instinct isn't to reach out for help. Our first instinct is to try and do it ourselves. So that's one of the pieces around automation that I would want you to take away, is to embrace delegation. Okay. And then systems. Finally, systems aren't just about the technology. They're also about the order in which you do things, making processes more efficient, things that you do multiple times a day, finding a way to only do them once. There's always opportunities. I tell people that where other people see roadblocks, I see speed bumps. Okay. So when somebody tells me that they can't do this or they can't do that, I'm the first one to jump in and say, we're going to find a way. Okay. And then the final of the 3 solutions that I've come up with is vision. Okay, so the solution to fear and doubt is vision, because if you have a vision of where you're going, your self-doubt is not going to be an issue, and fear is not going to be an issue because you are afraid of the unknown. So ultimately, addressing that fear, apologize, my office door is not closed, and there's a phone ringing in the other room. Fear and doubt is addressed with focus, okay, with vision rather. And that vision starts with imagination, all right? And that imagination can help us build our confidence. Once we get clear about where we want to go with our business, our confidence will grow with it, all right? And once we get the confidence, we will have no problem honing in like a microscope, with a microscope on our goals within the business. Okay. I hope to God that you've gotten something out of this. And the 3 pieces I want you to take away are well-being, automation, and vision. And they spell WAVE. Okay. And this is the WAVE method. And I thank you so much for dropping in today to watch my presentation. And please take care. God bless and stay safe.
That was exceptional, Trish. Exceptional. You nailed it.
Thank you so much.
I loved the visuals. I love the fact that you have the WAVE method, and I like how you tied everything in between your personal situation and then how you help other people. So we are going to come back and hear from everyone else, their comments after we take a break and hear from some of our sponsors. So please stay with us. We will be right back on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You.
A Better You.
Better You.
The world is changing, and your company needs to change with it. Whether it's procurement, employment, marketing, or customer service, it's now more important than ever for your business processes to be inclusive to people with disabilities. Hi, I'm Trish Robichaud with Changing Paces, and I'm here to tell you that making your business processes accessible to people with disabilities is simply good for business. Accessibility and inclusion are the law. But here's what you may not realize. Disability inclusion is an opportunity, not an obstacle. In fact, a recent 4-year study found that companies that fully embrace disability inclusion had a 30% higher profit margin than those that didn't. Your investment in staff disability inclusiveness training can pay off in areas like innovation, brand recognition, as well as customer and employee satisfaction and loyalty, not to mention productivity and profitability. At Changing Paces, we can help you make that happen for your business. Our experts have real-life experience that will help your team gain insight and best practices they won't get anywhere else. And we can help you create a customized training program to bring your organization into compliance with local and industry regulations. This topic is very close to my heart for me, very personal. Dealing with the challenges of MS for the past 25 plus years and having lost my job as a result of my diagnosis back then, I've made it my mission to bring disability out of the darkness and create a more welcoming environment for people of all abilities. As a pioneer in the field of inclusiveness, our company developed and implemented one of the first accessible customer service training programs in Canada. We provide complete online training solutions that blend with your branding, your policies, and your systems. Between our disability subject matter experts and our technical partners, we can provide you with both the content and the platform that you need to create an evergreen training program that empowers your people while it transforms your organization and your company culture. In short, we make disability inclusion easy in all parts of your business. Contact us now for a quote or consultation at info@changingpaces.com. Your bottom line will thank you.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hello and welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. Trish just did a phenomenal presentation. I'd like to open it up to the panel to share your thoughts. Let's start with Red.
Fantastic, thank you. I'm glad Trish started initially telling us who your target market was. health challenged people. However, by the time I get to the very end of the presentation, I think it works for anybody, health challenged or not. But regardless, I like the fact that you brought in your personal experiences. As I was listening to you, I was paying attention to your pace, your pauses, inflections, the transitions. All of those were very, very well done. This is not your first rodeo.
Thank you.
You have a natural storytelling style. It's a very good background intro into the actual process itself. I like that a lot. Very knowledgeable, very comfortable with the material. The examples that you use, from the details and the slides really help define exactly what you were trying to do. I had no problem following. I like the ad hoc bringing in of the chair, because that's something that's important that people don't even think about. And so those are the things that I really appreciated about what you talked about today.
Thank you very much, Red.
Trish, I definitely need a new chair. That is for sure. So I'm going to look into that now that you mentioned it. Let's go over to Ian and Dana.
I thought that was wonderful, Trish. I agree with Red and on all of those points. Like, the work you're doing is phenomenal. The world needs you so much, and I am so glad to meet you today and to hear all of the, so thorough. Your information is so thorough, and so it touches on every aspect of any kind of journey that one would take. It was just remarkable information. I'm so glad you
Thank you,
shared
Dana.
this today.
Thank you so much, Dana. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah. I feel the same. There's a lot of things, the points that you were bringing up. I think a lot of people in general, but just, startup companies, entrepreneurs, people that are trying to take the weight of the world on, go against the grain, you experience a lot of the talking points. And I just feel like it's really helping people to kind of create a template, to handle that and have assistance with that. So that's really awesome.
Appreciate that, Ian. I try to teach my clients that if they build their business to honor and accommodate their health from the beginning, their health is not going to take their business down. It's just not going to happen. Whereas if you just plan the business and expect the business to expect your health to accommodate the business, it's not going to work. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you for all the great feedback. That was an excellent presentation, Trish. So bravo. And the technology worked.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So Red, how do you feel? You ready to go?
Absolutely.
All right. Red is
Get him up, move out.
Toastmaster expert. So let's bring him up, and before you start, let me find the timer. And I will mute all of us as soon as I do that. And you're on.
Avoiding the widowmaker. What is a widowmaker? Basically, when you have a heart attack from a specific thing called the widowmaker, chances of dying are 9 out of 10, 90%. This happens when the lower anterior descending artery, the one on the left side of your heart, gets blocked. Literally, if you're not in a hospital and being treated by a doctor at the time, your chances of living are very remote. What is this all about? In the general topic under coronary artery disease, basically what we hear another term called atherosclerosis. It's a blockage in your arteries of the heart. Your heart is starved for oxygen. A little bit later, ventricular fibrillation occurs. Your heart starts to quiver a little bit. Your blood pressure drops. Unconsciousness begins. And if you're not treated right then and there, the worst case scenario just happened. You died. So what are the other scenarios? What else could possibly happen? Well, it might be something simple like doctor gives you some pills. Maybe you end up with a stent to beef up that area where the blockage was at. Bypass surgery, always possible. Heart attack and you survive. Stroke, you survive, fully functional. Maybe a stroke and you're not fully functional. I had a conversation literally last week with a guy who's had 5 strokes. He said his first one he had, I think around 2007. And he said he had to learn how to walk all over again. He had to learn how to talk, how to feed himself, how to brush his teeth. It's not the quality of life you want. So it's one of those things that you really need to be aware of. And that's part of what we're doing today, awareness and education. If you're not aware of something, fine, we can help you on that one. But as we talk about this today, you're going to learn a little bit about what causes it and what you can do. Now, what causes the arteries to become blocked to begin with? Well, we hear this term, you got high cholesterol. Well, let me tell you, cholesterol the body makes every single day. It needs every cell in your body needs cholesterol. It's not the cholesterol. You get cholesterol in the food you eat also, but it's the oxidized cholesterol that gets into your body. And how does oxidized cholesterol become oxidized? Well, fried foods like fried chicken, fried fish, whatever it may happen to be. A lot more of the omega-6 fatty acids. They're essential fatty acids, but when we get too many of them, that becomes a problem. The standard American diet is very, very poor on the kinds of things that we really need. As we start eating that type of diet, inflammation starts occurring at the cellular level. And when it becomes chronic and is no longer controllable, that's the genesis for literally 99% of all diseases that we have. Smoking is a cause of oxidation. Trans fats, think about margarines, your favorite pastry, donut, potato chips. Lay used to have a commercial, bet you can't eat just one. But those things are items that increase the oxidation of cholesterol in the body. And it gets deposited one molecule at a time over the surface. Another thing, or the second thing, that causes blockages is calcium. Now, you may have heard, milk is, it's good for the body because it gives you strong bones. Well, in order for the calcium to actually get to where it needs to go, you need several other things. One, you need a good source of calcium, primarily from food. If you're getting it from a pill, more than likely it's going to end up in the toilet. You need magnesium in your body already to help the absorbability of the calcium while it's in your stomach. As it's passing through the duodenum, if you have enough vitamin D3, it does not end up in the toilet. It actually ends up in your bloodstream. But it can go to two places, either to your heart valves and arteries where you don't want calcium, or it goes to your bones. So I was on Atkins diet for about 6 years. I lost a lot of weight, having fun. I couldn't have enjoyed anything better. However, when I came back from Europe and I got a bone density test, and I'd been a weightlifter for a long time, runner and everything. And I was surprised because all of a sudden I discovered that I had osteopenia. And why did I have that? There's no way in the world. Well, it turns out that if your blood pH goes below a certain number, 7.35, that the calcium that's in your bones actually gets extracted and pulled out to balance the blood. So even though you may be doing everything right to get the calcium where it needs to go and not into the heart valves and arteries, you got to keep at it constantly. It's one of those things that you just can't stop on. But coronary artery disease, I said, it's lay down one molecule at a time. Some people may argue, well, I'm genetically predisposed because my dad or my uncle or somebody had it and died from it or whatever. But genes are controllable. There's actually a little switch that turns the gene on or off. And most of your lifestyle choices make decisions regarding whether that gene is turned on or turned off. Things that dietary choices could lead to is obesity, sedentary lifestyle. Those things are not a healthy way to go. We just listened to Trish talk about health. The issue is we got to take care of ourselves. Now, how do you know if you're having some kind of cardio problem? Well, chest pain, they call it angina, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, nausea, sometimes vomiting, sweating, fatigue. Fatigue seems to be so familiar in a myriad of diseases. My personal story on this thing is some reason why I'm talking about it today. I was a naval aviator for 31 years, from 1968 to 1999. I had flight physicals every single year, passed every one of them, flying colors, no problem. I've had an annual physical every year since the year 2000. Again, I get tests, and it's rare when I have any single item out of range on my testing. I used to be a runner. My son was a runner in high school, so I kind of encouraged. I was running from the military, but I increased my running with him. I was lifting weights maybe an hour or two a day, depending on where I was, what I was doing. Run a few half marathons. I consider myself in pretty good health, mainly because I was relying on the fact that I didn't have anything on any of my tests that was outside the range. Well, rodeo in Texas 2020. It was about a year ago, actually a little bit more than a year ago. I'm outside. I sell tickets for the amusement rides, and all of a sudden I get these ice picks sticking in my pectoral muscles. And the longer I have to go, the deeper these things are sticking. I'm grabbing my chest and I'm thinking, what is going on? I get back to my booth. I warm up. 2 minutes later, I'm fine. I start doing some research. I can't find what it is. One of the things and when the weather got warmer, never had another problem. Of course, by then I was in the COVID vacation world and wasn't allowed to do much anyway. I used to run a lot, hour and a half a day. Several years ago, I switched over to running sprints. I run 100-yard dashes now, each one faster than the previous. I find that for me to be a better cardiovascular exercise. I get my heart rate up, I get back down. I was doing some of that, and all of a sudden I got a few of these little spiky things in my chest. Let me hold off. I know in a couple of months I'm going to have my annual physical. I'm lifting some heavy bricks in the backyard, doing some garden work. Again, I got that thing. And it's driving me crazy. Anyway, I get to my physical, talk to my doctor about it. He says, you really need to go see your cardiologist. I'd been to him about 3 years before. He ran a complete set of diagnostics on me. And basically, I had a super good, everything 100% up, no problems at all. So I went in November, December, I went to my cardiologist. He ran another complete series of tests. And they found one area on a nuclear MRI that it looked like there's a little bit of thickness occurring in there. So he says, I would really like to go in and take a better look with a catheterization. I said, okay. So they did that. This was a week before Christmas. A couple of weeks after that, I get back to his office and he says, I have 2 blocked arteries. One of them is the left anterior descending artery, the widowmaker. However, what happened? Why did I live through this thing? Well, basically, I had a DIY bypass. My heart grew 2 brand new veins. One came from the right side of my heart, went down underneath the heart and back over all the way to the left and connected to the top of the blockage. Now, the left anterior ventricular artery feeds the left side of your heart. You shut that one down and the entire heart stops. So I have this vein that was created over time to make up for the deficiency that it was pumping to the heart. And another vein from the top part of my right heart actually came down and grew across the front and joined at the lower end to help feed the body. So I have 2 DIY bypass. But when you grow something new like that, it's called angiogenesis. And you can have the exact same thing happen in your brain when you have a stroke. And it can happen automatically if you have enough of the right kind of vitamin D. There's 8 different kinds of vitamin D. There's 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. One of the tocotrienols, I believe it's the alpha one, if you have literally that much, it's enough to prevent having to learn everything all over again in your life. It literally eliminates all of the learning, all of the side effects that you get from that. But those are the things that you're on. Now, right now, I'm being treated by 1 pill. That's it. And that's to make my blood vessels a little more flexible. I plan on actually doing some further treatment with vitamin K. Vitamin K can actually go in there and remove plaque from the heart, from the arteries, from your blood, from everywhere that it's in there. Japanese use this a lot, primarily to rebuild bone, something that the United States is not doing. But how do you know when somebody's really having a heart attack? Well, it's something, they grab whatever. Well, you need to have a really be very quick. If you had one thing to do and you have quickly available to it, obviously you call 911, but get that person to chew an aspirin, a full-size aspirin or several baby aspirin. Don't swallow, chew. You want that to get into the bloodstream immediately through the tongue. Nitroglycerin, if they are known for that, I've had a couple workmates, they say, I got nitroglycerin here in my pocket. If I need it, you know where it's at. CPR, if you don't know how to do that, you don't know who you're going to be saving. Right here in my house in the backyard, my couple of family members were here. One of them started acting really weird. I have no idea what planet he was on. All of a sudden, the weirdness was such that I really need to call 911. As I'm doing this, he's falling to the ground. I run back in, literally about 20 feet, and I start CPR immediately. And I am just almost trying to break the guy's chest. But he started breathing again after about 2 minutes. By then, the ambulance arrived, turned everything over to them. You really need to know how to do that. If you're in a position where they have what's called an AED equipment, the automated external defibrillator, It's self-contained. You just put the little paddles on, push the button. Thank you very much. But you got to keep the blood flowing. That is what's really and truly important. How do you prevent this? That's really the key to this talk today. Recognizing it as part of the problem, but knowing what to do. Well, obviously lifestyle changes, that's number one. Smoking, stop. Alcohol, moderation. Heart healthy diet. I was amazed at what a healthy diet really does. About 6 years ago, my wife had breast cancer. She had a couple surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation. I had read a book called The Walls Protocol by Dr. Terry Walls. She's an internal medicine doctor. She came down with MS late in life, and she did a study on it, wrote a book on it. The only side effect that I really couldn't address well with my wife was fatigue. She was taking 1 or 2 2-hour naps a day. Regardless, I put her on this thing day 1 of radiation, and her fatigue was expected to get worse. 48 hours later, it disappeared. Same thing with Dr. Terry Walls. She had been in a wheelchair for 4 years on all sorts of meds. In 3 months, she was out of the wheelchair, walking, no meds, walking with a cane. A month later, bicycling 18 miles by the end of the year. Having the 30 plus nutrients the body needs on a daily basis is critical. You need the fruits and vegetables. You need to give up the sugars and processed foods and things like that. You need less omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids. These are your vegetable oils. Those are the things that cause inflammation. A healthy ratio is 4 to 1. Omega-6 to omega-3. If you can get it 1 to 1, that's probably the best. Exercise daily. Stress management, absolutely daily. And I am an advocate for annual physicals. You really need an annual physical to know where you're at. You have this baseline. You need to know where are you changing? Are you going up or down? If you don't know that, it's very, very difficult to fix something. If you're going to fix a problem, you got to know the problem starts. And most time the disease is so small, you can't find it. So that's a good thing to have. Signing out, Red O Laughlin.
Wow, great job. Red, I work with you every week and I had no idea. So I found myself like getting very emotional at the same time, thinking about, that you might not be safe, but I'm glad to hear that, that you are. That was a great presentation. We're going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors. And when we come back, we will have Trish, Ann, and Dana share their thoughts about Red's Toastmaster presentation. You nailed it. So thank you very much. Be right back. Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. Jacalyn over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Cedrone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.
When all my broken sneakers started to pile up in the wardrobe, I realized that we have a problem. Sneakers are made from plastics, and plastic is not mendable. My name is Philip, and I'm one of the founders of Our Choice Fashion. How many times did this happen to you? How can eco sneakers save the world when they break after only a few months and we have to buy pair after pair that breaks? We are here to give you the solution, a choice for truly sustainable fashion in the world's first circular sneakers. On average, we all buy 3 pairs of sneakers each and every year. This adds up to 25 billion sneakers per year, of which most end up in landfills. This adds up to 350 million tons of CO2 emissions, the same amount as for the country of Italy or the state of California. So we started to develop a product that would have all the old-fashioned qualities. It is mendable, it has a classic design, and it has a natural comfort. Because we chose the best designer there is, Mother Nature. The sneakers get more and more comfortable the more you wear them. Made from vegetable tan leather and natural latex from the rubber tree, the sneakers are both sustainable and comfortable. These sneakers are made from pure raw materials that are both fully biodegradable and fully recyclable. The best thing here really is that when your sneakers need an upgrade, you just send them right back to us using the same bag that you got them delivered in. We then resole your sneakers, put on a fresh pair of laces, and give them a nice new polish. This means that you can wear your sneakers for many years to come. Our sneakers are more than sneakers. They are a circular function, and we developed a smart pull for you to step into your sneakers without stepping down the heel. This means that you get a truly sustainable grip. We've got a fully circular business model, and that's why we'll only produce sneakers on your demand. Book your product now and get that sustainable grip at a discount. We've been on this amazing journey for 2 years, and now we're inviting you to also make a choice for truly sustainable fashion. Try the world's first circular sneakers, 100% plastic-free, and I can promise you that our choice will be your companion for many years to come.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. I want to say a shout out to Philip Westerland. He is our newest sponsor. We just watched his commercial about the sneakers, and I saw all of us were actually very engaged with that. It's a fascinating concept. So thank you, Philip. I also want to say hi to Ruth Sugarberg, Frank Pomani, Rohan Biss. Welcome to the show. I think it's the first time that you're all watching us, so thank you very much. Let's go to Ian and Dana for feedback about Red's presentation.
Wow, Red, that was so much awesome information, and it was so much in 15 minutes, so I was shocked. And there was a lot of things in there that really struck me. I thought it was really interesting how you said, like, you went to the cardiologist and they did all these tests and they found at first that everything was okay, and that, you know, you still continue to have the pain. So obviously you went back, but it's good that you're putting this out here, because like more people need to be more aware of all of this, and that those pains aren't just something, you know what I mean? They aren't just, you know, to really be aware and to pay attention and not just like ignore them or shove them off. So it really touched me, and I got a lot of good information out of your presentation. That was very, very well done. Thank you for sharing all of that, and even your personal journey. Wow, I was so engaged and connected with you through that whole presentation.
Yeah, I feel the same. Where you talked about the nutrients daily that you need. We're vegan-ish, you know, so we mostly are plant-based. But it's just, we find that it's very crucial in getting the right, you know, supplemental doses through your food, and to be, you know, pay attention to that. And I was really engaged. I think you did a great job, and your flow and cadence was awesome too. So you can tell that you're a veteran as well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Enjoyed it very much. So thank you.
Wonderful. Red, any feedback you have for everyone?
I appreciate that very much. The pains I had, they were not traditional angina pains. When I look up those kind of things, it's not the needles that are sticking in the pectoral muscles, because I would take a deep breath. There was no elephant sitting on my chest. None of the other things that were out there were part of that. So no issues with arm. I mean, it was an isolated, not stabbing ice picks, but literally needles. They were very sharp, and what is it? And it just became but again, I already knew I had my appointment for my doctors lined up. I'll be 75 here in a few months, and just one of those things that as you get older, those little molecules keep building and building and building. My experience in health has happened more since my wife's issues with her cancer, breast cancer, than it was prior to that. I'm a naval aviator, flyer, been in 61 countries in the world. I enjoy food. I enjoy a lot of things, and I didn't let that get in the way.
Thank you so much, Red. That was a great presentation, as I mentioned. I want to say hello to a new fan, Mohammed Kikish. Thank you for joining us. We'd love to hear comments from you guys who are out there watching. So we're going to move on to Ian and Dana. And Trish, I know you have a hard stop, so anything you want to say before you have to drop off?
Well, I wanted to say pleasure to meet you, Ian and Dana. I look forward to watching the replay so that I get to see your presentation. And Red, you were spot on as usual. And oh my God, you were saying things that I really needed to hear.
Trish, what's the best way to get in touch with you? We're running your banner, but for people who are listening on the radio, how can they contact you, and what are the services you provide?
Well, I provide coaching support for entrepreneurs with disabilities or entrepreneurs who have a health issue, or not even necessarily, at least usually there's a health issue of some kind. But I work with entrepreneurs and helping them to build an income that will sustain them, that will, while their health is rocking the boat. I also work with businesses and help them build their profitability by including people with disabilities in their business model. I can be reached at Trish at Changing Paces. That's Paces as in steps, PACES.com. Trish at changingpaces.com. And if you're sure you want to book a session with me, a free consultation, please go to 4 Talk with Trish. The number 4 Talk with Trish. And or booktrish.com. That one will work too.
Thank you, Trish. And I just want to let our audience know that I personally have been working with Trish on several projects. She's extremely organized. She has an incredible sense of technology. She knows so many things, and she can just get you in your lane. I'm doing a lot of things that are dysfunctional for my business, and she's helping me sort through it. No, you don't need to spend an hour doing this. We can really streamline processes. So please reach out to Trish. She really has a wealth of information, and she's a beautiful person. So thanks again, Trish.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you. Ian and Dana, how do you feel about going for your presentation? Are you ready?
We're ready.
We're so ready.
All right. I'm thrilled. So I'm going to spotlight you, and Red and I will be out of the stream, but please wait until I put the 15-minute timer up. And it's all yours. Take it away.
Hello, I am Ian Morris, and this is Dana Kato, and we are the co-founders of Listening to Smile. And Listening to Smile is a unique sound healing company that utilizes sacred frequency to create whole body balance. And so what does whole body balance mean? It's basically, if you've heard of chakras or the energy centers of the body, working in tandem with mindfulness techniques and sound healing tracks, we help target the stress response of the body to help you mentally, emotionally, and physically relax into the power of now, right? The present moment. And so today we're going to be talking about healing with frequency-minded music. And so frequency-minded music is taking traditional sound healing elements like singing bowls, gongs, didgeridoos, tuning forks, and instruments like that, seen in traditional sound healing environments. Sound healing is the new fad. It's every yoga studio. There's even sound and meditation studios that are opening, utilizing sacred frequency and sound healing. And so this is the new thing of the moment. And so what we're doing is taking those traditional elements and instruments and including them into more diverse music that is not only in meditation and sound bath applications, but also in yoga, songs for commercials, Netflix movies, advertisements on social media, things of that nature. So what we're doing is creating a place, a hub where music can be utilized for all of your business needs, but including sacred frequency, so that people, when they're listening to the music, will often say, I just feel at peace when I'm listening to this music. Your music seems different. And the reason that we equate that is basically the frequency. It's started at the beginning of the track and plays for the duration of the track. So it's the foundation of what the songs are built on that really makes them different and stand out. And so when we do live events, we're working with people at yoga studios, holistic wellness centers, clinical settings. The people that we target with our program is yoga studios and yoga teachers, hypnotherapists, psychologists, life coaches, and things of that nature. And that's who, primarily works with frequency-minded music. So the next point that we really want to address is, people often ask, how does frequency music work exactly? Do I just listen to it and that's it? Or is there more involved? So it's relatively easy to work with this music. You don't have to invest in a lot of equipment. The only thing that's needed is a good speaker system. We strongly recommend earbuds or headphones for the music that's using brainwave entrainment and things of that nature. So what we're doing, as I said before, is targeting the stress response of the body. So we're doing that through tempo of the music, which can help lower your heart rate. And an example of that would be a sporting event where they pump the music and they're getting the crowd really energized with fast tempo music. And so what we're doing is the same effect, but in reverse. We're going for a more relaxed, subdue stage where we can really settle into relaxation. And so tempo is very powerful in this music, in the target. The frequency and the intention behind the music is very powerful. And when it's communicated in a way that the musician and the makers of the music are in direct communication through literature or audio, addressing such at the recording, you're targeting the person to be on the same page with that intention. And intention is very powerful. So by creating a tempo and an intention or focus of the music utilized with the frequency and the consistency of that frequency, that is how this works to help lower the heart rate, to help step the brainwave activity down. And most of the music that we work with is targeting the theta pattern, which is the state, brainwave state that we hit just before REM sleep. And so it's a very powerful state to target the subconscious and to work with just a new reprogramming of the brain. So that's something that we really like to work with. The other thing that I would like to talk about today is people today are very focused on what they're putting in their body through nutrition. And so not many of us are focused on the same inputs for, your eyes or your ears.
And I think that the biggest thing too is I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a meditation and breathwork facilitator. And one of the things that people always think about with yoga is that it's movement based. It's all about the postures. It's all about, the exercise part of it. But there's so much more to it than that. And one of the limbs of yoga, one of the little pieces of yoga, it talks about like closing off the senses, like going inside. Can we completely renounce our senses? Well, for a lot of us, that's really, really difficult. And so with what Ian was saying about how we're so conscious about what we're putting in our body, we heard from Trish and read about more specifically how important that is for our bodies and our healthy living and our healthy lifestyle. But also we need to start to become more aware of what we're putting into all of our other senses, what's going into our ears, what's our eyes, taking in touch. All of that is so, so important, just like the food that we're putting into our bodies. Our cells hear it, our cells absorb it, our brain is consuming this as well. And so that is where we really like to keep people kind of focused. Like, what are you listening to these days? Do you even know what you're absorbing, what frequency that music is in? And most traditional music is going to be in a standard tuned music, the standard tune. And so with our music, we have music that you can listen to in your car. You can go for a walk with your dogs. You can exercise to it. You can do yoga to it. And so you're bringing it in. You could cook with it, mindful eating, and you can bring it into your life in all kinds of areas so that you're constantly getting these healing frequencies that really do a lot more for the body than you might even be aware of at first. And that's what's really cool about this music, is there's nothing you have to do. There's no effort that you have to really put into it except for hitting play on your iPod or on your phone or wherever you're playing it, and put on some headphones and just let it work.
Yeah, and the powerful combinations of breath work and meditation, what you would call mindfulness techniques, incorporated with the music, is just like an added, like icing on the cake. It adds more grounding and stability into the practice of self-care. And so a lot of people in today's hustle bustle society are not carving out the space for self-care. And that is where a lot of the unbalanced, it ripples out into other parts of our lives, from our nutrition to our healthcare, as far as physical fitness, and then, going into mental health even. Our emotional states are highly affected by our thoughts and feelings. And so it's very crucial to carve out this, self-care moment. And so the next thing that I would like to address is basically people's emails and questions are always concerning, where do I start? How do I know what frequency to start with, and to get started with carving out self-care? So this is really easy. As we said before, you just need a set of headphones or some decent speakers to get started, and then really just carving out about 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. So 20 minutes a day. And we have seen people have breakthrough effects within a week to 2 weeks of having consistent 20 minutes a day. So what we traditionally do is pick an album based on if you're going to be movement based or more of a meditation based or something for sleep. And you'll choose the album from the website, and you would just get your headphones out and do a little bit of breath work, some very basic breath work, and set an intention for what you would really like to target with the issues that are coming up for you, and then give that a focus while you're listening to the music. And it's really just that simple. Very basic breath work and intention setting and focus, and listening to the music 20 minutes a day. So we have over 120 albums in our catalog. We create a new album every month, which has been, and it's been a process of, growth in our company, to start with, 10 albums and then grow to 50 and then 100, and to have a wide variety, something for everyone, was really the goal, to create a soundtrack for your life, for self-care in all forms, movement to meditation. So the next thing I would like to touch on is how can you get this information, read a little bit deeper into what we talked about today, which would be on our website, and listeningtosmile.com. And then we have a licensing program for people that have commercial business that can really be a one-stop shop for all of your music needs for your business. And we're talking podcast, videos, social media, reselling to clients and creating your own branded products, coaching,
one-on-one work, massage, psychology, counseling. There's so many applications that we have helped many different people really build it into their own business model and customize it and integrate it in ways that work for them.
So we like to say a lot that frequency is the fuel. And the other talking point that we like to bring up is that this music is subtly epic. So we're talking about music that has a powerful, profound effect on your heart rate, on your brainwave activity. And when you incorporate it into your life, and like we said, 20 minutes a day, and carve out that time, you will see a difference. You will see a difference in your thoughts and feelings. You will see a difference in your perspectives of the world. And so, so we're just really encouraging you to take a look at listeningtosmile.com. We have more information on there that you can look into and read a little deeper into, what is frequency-minded music, and a little bit of what makes our music different. And there's samples of the music on there for you to take a listen to.
And if you are interested in becoming a member of ours, we support you through the whole entire process. We teach you so you learn more about frequency and how we work with you to help you get it where you need to put it in your business. So there's lots of support and lots of encouragement, and because we look at all of our members as family.
So thanks.
Okay.
Be nice if I was unmuted myself. Yes, I said that was terrific. You guys, you did an excellent presentation. Really great. When you and I first connected, I was really naive. I was unaware of the fact that you can't just play music anywhere you want. You can't sign up for Spotify and have a monthly membership and then play it on the airwaves, or you can't run it in your restaurant or play a television show in your bar, or whatever the situation is. And you made me really aware of that. So I'm glad that you were here on the show today. Red, I'm going to turn it over to you and ask you what comments you might have. And by the way, hello to Diane Boehm. Diane, nice to have you in the house today.
Ian and Dana, truly enjoyed it. I learned some stuff, and I always love when I learn things. So thank you for that today. I am slightly aware of some of the things you talked about, but you filled in a lot of details for me. You told me what it was. You told me how it was used. You tell me how you use it with certain clients. I mean, those are the things that are important. It's just not knowing what it is. It's how. But you also told me the why, and that's the essence of what I want to know. Something. Why does something happen? So I'm going in there. I'm listening. Okay, you're working with this. You're doing this, and this is. And you melded it together very, very nicely. You put it all together in a nice big wrapper at the end. It's all about self-care and balance. And this is one package that helps that overall deal. And I really like the way that you focus your product at the customer's needs. You said whether you're walking the dog, you're sitting, whatever you're looking at the customer's needs. So that part I really and truly liked a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
that was
much.
so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. That was terrific. I'd like to just announce the fact that Dr. Jacalyn LLC is an affiliate of your organization. So if you want to give any information about that to our audience, that would be wonderful.
Yes. So basically, what that means is that if people hear music in your content that they like, they'll be able to purchase the music from you for personal use and be able to use it in this, meditation tracks, music for yoga and things of that nature. So that's the first. And then also working with you, they would be able to utilize those tracks in video ads and content and things of that nature. So it's what we've tried to do is really create a win-win scenario where the music and the artistry is truly being supported and honored. And in return, we're adding some extra value, what we consider a multi-level license use with the music.
And that would be our membership.
Yeah, with our affiliate program.
Mm-hmm.
And so that creates an added value and extra revenue streams for the affiliates in that program. So we wanted it something to be supportive and a synergistic partnership. And so that's why we created the affiliate program.
And if you guys do go and purchase an album on our website, those albums are for you to use at home. And if you go ahead and purchase, you can use the code RWDJ and you will save a discount off of each one of the purchases. And if you are interested in signing up for our membership affiliate program to be able to use it in your business or to use it with your clients, you again put in the reference code. There will be a little thing on the form that says reference code, and you can put in the same code, RWDJ. And then that's how we know that it came from Dr. Jacalyn and that we can, really work with her to really bring a lot of her people and her community and her followers along with her on this journey. And it's really great.
I just updated the banner. So there we go.
Thank you.
There we go. That's awesome. Yeah. Mention code RWDJ. I love it. Well, it has been a pleasure having you here, Ian and Dana. And I'm just wondering if you can give your contact information for people listening on the radio who can't see the banner.
Yeah. So our email is, my email address is ian@listeningtosmile.com and Dana is at dana@listeningtosmile.com. And the website is just https://listeningtosmile.com. And so there's samples of the music there. There's some videos you can watch on the homepage that are under 3 minutes to give, better explanation of, the overview of the company and what our mission is. And then there's also a service tab at the menu at the top of the page where you can find all the services that we provide. So thank you.
Loads of free information. So learning about frequency, learning about meditation in general and music, and actually meditating with frequency amount of music is on there. And again, if you go at the top, there's a button up there for buying music to shop around and see what else, all the different albums that we have available. So definitely explore. Go and explore and have fun.
Thank you so much. And I just want to share that this connection that we have was because of social media, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't introduced by anyone. I think you found me. We set up a Zoom call, and realized that there were ways that we could connect together. And so I just want to encourage people that while you're at home, get on social media, connect with people, go to Lunch Club, go to Clubhouse, go to any social media platform. Met these wonderful people, and now we're working together. So I really appreciate it. So it's beautiful. So thank you again for being here, Ian, Dana. I have a couple things I want to just chat with Red about. You're welcome to stay around. And if not, do you want to stay around or do you want to go? It's up to you.
Yeah, we can stay if you want us to.
Okay, perfect. So I wanted to just talk to Red about this book that I have coming out, Behind the Green Screen. Red has this, he's an independent publisher, and he's got this really interesting process that we used to write this book. So Red, I'm going to spotlight you and ask you to just share what this process is that you have.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Jacalyn. If I said Ian or Dana, Tell me about the first car you ever had. You could do it without even thinking. It's one of those things that's in our brain that we just know the answer to. If I structured the book the same way and I set up question, answer, and you know these answers so well you don't even need to think about them, you could actually write a book based on the answers to your questions. So if I were structuring a book for the healing power of sound, and I wanted to know the answers to these 20 questions because this involves the brain and the heart and whatever else. And I structure this thing where here's a question, but there's really 4 parts to the answer. So I have A, B, C, and D, and I just put little bullets there to remind me what to say. I grab my phone or anything else around that I can record with, and I just have a conversation. Now, here's the dynamic that works well. You have to talk and look at somebody else, because you're looking at their body language, you're listening to what they're saying, and it's being recorded. And as you're doing that, you're minimizing any editing that needs to have, because you're not losing your place. You know ahead of time where you're going. If you don't have everything written down, then you start to ramble a little bit, and then that would probably cause a little bit of editing. But if you're speaking at an event and you're speaking to a lot of people, you're not getting that same feedback. It's the same presentation as answering the questions, but it's not quite the same. And it's absolutely different than when you're sitting down there, just letting the fingers go by. But the real difference is the amount of time it takes to edit the book. Dr. Jacalyn and I started on this thing literally weeks ago, and just boom, 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 the book is done. And it's a super simple way of doing things. I'm more than happy to answer anybody's question regarding that. There's many ways to skin a cat, as they say. This to me is the fastest, the easiest, the most effective, and the least cost. So.
Red, thank you so much. We're getting feedback for some reason. So what I wanted to discuss, because you're an author, and we both know a lot of authors, and of course, what I've heard from people is there's no way you can write a book that's going to be any good and do it in a short amount of time. And I said, really? Well, I just did it. What do you think of that? But what do you say to people who have that comment that there's no way it could possibly be any good?
Well, as we know, technology changes, things go faster. The amount of information that you can process on a daily basis is good. But you're trying to answer a question for a specific thing. In your particular case, how to be successful in the live broadcasting arena, that industry, that business. And you're focusing on a single question that needs the answer. Now, if I wanted to say, how can you be successful? Well, my God, there's so many different ways. So I think if you narrow your focus, Ian and Dana were talking about focus. We need to have, what is our intention? What is our focus? Let's get all this married together. When you have that and you know exactly what you want to give to people, you could have a perfectly good book that's 25 pages long that answers that question very well. And if there's 4 questions that need answering, that's a 100-page book. Why can't it be done in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks? There's no reason at all. It's the same thing with traditional publishing. You go to a traditional publisher, it's probably, I have a good friend right now. He's over 2 years still trying to get things done, and the book's been written for 2 years, but it's not out in the marketplace. There are things that are done. Now, one of the things I do is all I do is publish. I don't get involved in the front and back end. You give me the finished manuscript, I publish it. But one of the things is a publisher owns your intellectual property when it's done. That's not the way I do business. I work with the author, and I turn the entire account, everything over to them. So when I'm working, I'm actually doing a different world than what other people do. So when you have a mindset that says this is the way everything works, and somebody's trying to tell you, hey, over here the grass is greener. No, it's not. It's a different way of doing things. And when you look at traditional, just sit down, let's type these things out, and let's re-edit and proof, and you send them back and forth. Yeah, it takes months, maybe even years, because you don't have the focus up front. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there.
Really good points. I want to just ask Ian and Dana, everybody has a book in them. So is this sparking any ideas for you? You're thinking, you know what, we could write a book.
Well, we already have wrote a book. So,
I didn't know.
Well,
but the book,
started.
Yeah, the book, I would say it's like 90% done, and it's just sitting on a shelf. And the reason is because everyone and their grandma's like, you guys need to write a book. And I'm like, we do, but we're creating monthly content with audio, and it's an extremely hard thing to do with a small company. You know, we're working with about 5 people. And so the weight of the heavy workload is on Dana and I pretty much to create that monthly content, and working with, you know, hundreds of affiliates worldwide. You have those relationships to maintain. So it's something that we definitely want to do, but it's about getting.
But I like what Red taught today.
Yes.
Because to be honest with you, writing a book, whenever we thought about it, we really wanted to do it, but it's so overwhelming. It's like, where do I even start? And we each have ideas for our own books. Like, we have one together, and then, but it's like, I get so overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to even get it out of here onto there, you know? And so this Red made me feel like there's hope for it, you know, that he had like that. You just made it sound so much more fluid, and like, I don't want to say easy, but it's just more achievable, I guess I should say. And it just gave me hope, and I'm so glad that we stayed to hear that, because it really, I needed it.
And maybe your book is 95% done, but maybe a smaller version of that book is 100% done, and the other part is still that 95%, whatever it may happen to be. Because so you may end up looking at, maybe you don't have one book, maybe you have 5. I don't know. You know, it may not necessarily be a 300-page book. It may be, you know, 4 45-page books that are ebooks for right now, and then you eventually just concatenate them all into one book. You know, there are a lot of different ways of going.
Yeah, something else I wanted to share is that when Red and I started down this path together, I was going in a different direction. It was behind the green screen, how I found my passion for broadcasting. And as I was interviewing authors, what they shared with me was that you really want to have a how-to book if you want to sell books, if you want to have an opportunity to you know, get on the bestseller list. So midstream, we pivoted, and everything that was already written had to have a now focus about how to, or a lesson for the person reading it. So that added in another, 2 weeks or something. But now we really have like my personal story combined with how to.
Okay.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Red, what got us started on this joint book venture was that at all the live events that we do, everyone would say, I love this music, but I'm not sure I'm using it right. And they would ask a lot of questions about how to use it in their daily life, like the different things. So we wanted to put a handbook together that was kind of a how to utilize the music. And so that's what got us started down that path.
Sounds like a lot of questions that they're easy answers for.
Yes.
Who are you going to call? Red O Laughlin.
Right.
Yes.
So,
man, now Red.
Yes. So I just want to take a segue. So Diane, okay, let me take a step back. So Zane Carson Carruth, who's not on the show, she's an author, children's book author. She did a 10-minute interview on a local TV station, and I was there on the show, and I reached out to her. She was supposed to be on this show. She had to reschedule. I said, can you introduce me to anyone? She introduced me to Diane Floyd-Bain. Diane introduced me to Red, and now I'm introducing Red to you. So,
Awesome.
so pay it forward, and you guys, I hope that you'll connect and possibly work together. So that would be really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Call me. I'll answer any questions you have. I love to answer questions. So you got them. You know, no obligation. I just answer the questions and we keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the show. Let me spotlight Ian and Dana again. I know you gave your contact information, but we've been on a little bit longer. Can you give it again for people on the radio?
Sure. If you want to reach out to Ian, it's ian@listeningtosmile.com. And for myself, Dana, it's dana@listeningtosmile.com. And that's TO, not the number 2. Some people think that. So listening TO smile. And if you want to order any kind of music or join our membership program, make sure you use the code RWDJ so that you can save a discount. from being on the show with us today and listening in and really having an interest in what we're doing. We appreciate you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I know you will both be coming back and doing some other lessons because there's a ton of things that you can teach us. So we'll look forward to having you back on the show. Red, I'm going to turn it over to you to give your contact information. Let me find your banner. There we go.
Hi. Red O Laughlin. That's OLAUGHLIN. Red like the color. So redolaughlin.com. And it's red@redolaughlin.com if you want to use an email. My phone number is the best way to contact me, 281-687-1188. 281-687-1188.
All right. Thank you so much, Red. It warms my heart to have experts like all of you here and Trish Robichaud. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you when you come back to visit us.
Thank
you so much.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Oh my gosh, what a great show that was. I learned so much, and I hope that you did too. This is Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. We'd love to have you join us. All you have to do is go to abetteryou.TV. That's TV, like in television. Okay, I want to announce our shows for tomorrow. We have A Better You coming up with Diane Floyd-Bain. Yes, Diane, we can't wait to have you back. And she is on the 11 a.m. tomorrow. At 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, we have Jeff Nishwish. He's going to join us. And we also have Kevin Gergel at 2 p.m. At 4 o'clock, we have It's All About Dating. This show is so much fun. Even if you're not dating, you should come on the show because we laugh. My co-host, Lisa Manioki, and I just crack up the whole time. So Mike Goldstein will be joining us for that. On Friday, why is it a special day? It's my birthday. Yes, I will be in this house with my mother celebrating my birthday, working all day. I have a story to tell. At 1:15, we will be joined by Rich Scott. And then we have at 3:30, Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents Pet Psychic Amina. And our guest is Oscar Garcia. At 5 p.m., we have Alex Kaplan on stories of hope, inspiration, and overcoming adversity. And at 6 p.m. on The Variety Show with co-host Lori Mendelson, we welcome back Alicia Ramcharatar. She's been on a few times. She is a chief drumming architect, and we are all going to be drumming together. It's sort of a team building event, so look for that. I also want to announce that we have a new show starting next Wednesday and every Wednesday thereafter. The show is Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, the Underdog Show, with co-host Ben Chai. If you don't know Ben Chai, please go to his LinkedIn. This man is unbelievable. I just saw he was with Calvin Klein, picture of him with him. He is an expert strategist, and he is an author of the book Social Magnetism. And he's a man who is a genius when it comes to building businesses and also helping people get their social presence out there in the alignment that it should be with your branding. So look up Ben Chai, Chai. And finally, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you being here. I'm working day and night. I'm surrounded by incredible people. A Better You, we have 25 charter presenters, and these are the people that are the top in their field. We've got an advisory board that's helping us bring out A Better You University, where these lessons will be hosted, and also Journey to a Better You, which is our in-person event that's going to be in the fall of 2022. Our board met yesterday, and we've narrowed it down to 5 destinations where we're going to have this program, and we hope that you will join us. We will be pre-selling sometime in the summer. Last 2 events, we are redoing our website, drjacalyn.com. We are revamping it so that when you go there, you actually know what it is drjacalyn.com stands for. Right now, when you go there, I have to be honest, it's a bunch of real estate with really no messaging. So I am working to change that. And finally, as you know, the new book is coming out, behind the green screen, how to succeed in the live broadcasting business. And I want to thank Diane for a beautiful testimonial that she wrote, and that is on the back cover of the book. So that's all I have for today. I just want to thank you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope you will join us, and please spread the word. Tell people about us. Book on our show. All you have to do is go to drjacalyn.com, book your session. Book your session. We'd love to have you join us, whether it's as an interview or if it's a sponsorship or you want to be a presenter on one of these shows, A Better You. That's all. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again sometime soon.
Looking for children's books to embrace the imagination, to inspire your kids to be the best they can be and to love themselves? Look no further. Children's author DianeFloydBaim.com. You'll find the books right there and on Amazon and local stores.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn. Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. And here to tell us more is the creator of A Better You, Al Cini. Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. It's always a pleasure working with you. And everyone out there, you might be a coach working with individuals professionally or personally, or you might be a consultant working with businesses, or you might be a trusted advisor specializing in an area like finance, let's say, or the law or healthcare. Whatever of those roles you relate to, you all have one thing in common, and that is you're working every day to help people become better versions of themselves, a better you. And Dr. Jacalyn's A Better You program is an opportunity for you to express your expertise in a particular area for 15 minutes in front of an audience of people who are looking for help from people like you.
Yep.
So, Dr. Jacalyn, maybe you can tell everybody how they can learn more about this.
It's so easy. You go to abetteryou.tv and you sign up to book your session.